What's happening here, soldier?
These islanders want to enter a plot of land that belongs to the congregation.
They are denying us access to the glade.
We must heal it. Otherwise, this land will die.
I am sorry, but we cannot let you enter this area.
But we only want to plant some new trees. Bring life back.
These people are fanatics, Your Excellency. Several woodcutters died last night, and I'm willing to bet that these savages had a hand in it.
You are killing the earth, so it kills you.
Shut it, you savage!
De Sardet, I'm the legate of the merchant congregation on this island. I came to... You said that some woodcutters...
Aye, they fell sick and died a few hours later. But the camp doctor will be able to tell you more.
Thank you, soldier. I'll go...
Please, Your Excellency, you may come in.
Hello, Doctor. I am the legate of the congregation. I was told about the disputes caused by this camp, and a soldier told me that several woodcutters died.
Yes. They got sick yesterday afternoon, and a few hours later they were dead. I couldn't do anything except watch them writhing in pain. Now, if seeing corpses doesn't bother you, you can come. I hope that whatever killed them is not condemned.
These poor woodcutters look like they've suffered. This one has a swollen tongue, blood at the corner of the mouth. There are some peculiar red patches on the bodies. His eyes are bloodshot. This man choked to death. A strong smell of ammonia. The entrails must have been perforated.
The appearance of these bodies and the smell emanating from their mouths leaves me in no doubt. They were poisoned. That this doctor could have believed that this was simply an illness is beyond.
So, what do you think? Do you recognize their disease?
They didn't die of disease. They were poisoned. There's no doubt...
You're probably right. But I've heard these savages talking so much about, so I thought it must be a mysterious disease, rather than... But how could these three men...
I'm not sure.
No, I've never...
Did they drink anything?
They like to drink their fills in the evening. But if the poison was in the alcohol, I'd also be on the pile of...
What did they eat yesterday?
No, we avoid that kind of thing. We don't know enough about the regions. The congregation provides us with dry produce, otherwise we eat game. Yesterday they butchered a beast brought by the
Hunters?
natives who bring us game regularly in exchange for knickknacks. But they've been restocking us for months.
Well, we'll see what they have to...
They usually hunt on the edge of the wood that leads to this camp.
How can we earn our reward if you...
We were looking for you.
Us?
3 woodcutters were poisoned yesterday after eating...
Poisoned?
Listen, all the clues lead to you, but it may... How about you tell me exactly what happened?
It wasn't really an accident, but we did not want to kill them either.
Then tell me how it happened.
We did not decide to do this. We were trading beauty, but the elder said that we would be traitors to our clan if we let...
Which elder?
One of the old men from Vigigidor, our village. He gave us the meat of an andrig killed by a venomous Docentine. Its flesh is perfectly edible when prepared with certain berries, but without. And since the Renaigse invaded our forest, he wanted it to be a lesson for them, so that they may understand.
I will not hold you responsible, but from now on you will no longer bring me. You are the instruments of a hateful old man's, and I'm under the impression that there will be even more deaths if I do not get...
The Vigigidor elder thought it best to take vengeance into his own hands. I understand his anger, but Duncann would not approve of this. He would say that bloodshed only leads to more bloodshed, and he wouldn't be wrong.
This whole thing could turn into an open war. We cannot let that happen. Sir de Corsillon will be able to give some advice on how to solve this property conflict without violence. Sir de Corsillon,
Decidez, my young student.
the mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Good. You have traveled great distances, and the Terra Incognita will keep doing what you're... Can you roll, Professor?
I found some notes which were lost by Professor Serafedin.
Investigating such gigantic creatures.
Indeed. Unfortunately...
Oh, poor man. I will make sure this research is... But some sheets... Can you roll?
I have come to find you because I received a complaint from... They want to be able to access a clearing, exploited by our woodcutters to heal it. But our men there say that it belongs to them, and are refusing to let... The site was supposedly ceded to them several months ago, but tensions are running. If we don't intervene, we're heading for a real confrontation.
It is very regrettable, and I approve according to what you have told me. If ever there was a contract, it must have been signed under our former governor. You should go to the archives and verify this. Then go and talk to Lady Laurine de Morange. And of course, I'll be delighted to...
Thank you, Professor. Once more, you've been of great help.
Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Looking forward...
day, dear sir. Happy to see you again in such fine...
I need you to enlighten me about the property deed of a glade near... The natives want to access this place, which according to them is sacred. But some of our men there are using this deed to deny them access. Tensions are running high, and some people have died.
Yes, there was a time when we enacted a lot of contracts.
Yes, here it is.
This cession agreement is only signed with a cross on the native side. Well, as is the notion of land ownership. For them, the earth only belongs to...
If they did not possess these lands, how did they cede them?
I doubt they knew what this agreement represented, to be honest.
In that case, why make them sign it?
When we arrived on the island, we had to ensure our access to certain commodities. We also had to make sure that we had legal ownership of the lands we... The natives dreamed of possessing some baubles that they didn't know how to craft. It was easy to make them sign agreements that they didn't... I was a stranger to their philosophy then. I only thought about my city, and I regret it.
I'm sure we can fix this mistake.
I hope so, Your Excellency. Come, let's find Sir... Can I help you with any...
My lady,
Sir de Corsilion, it's always a pleasure.
Madame, I expect you've come to see me about this regrettable problem concerning a clearing, which my student told me about.
Indeed. And I think I may have a solution that will allow us to solve this conflict peacefully.
I'm listening.
I must admit that I established this at a time when the culture and the mentality of the natives was foreign. The clan of this village was rather open to our presence. For this reason, I think we should allow... In doing so, we would also retain ownership of the... We would even benefit from such an agreement if the natives reforest this area.
I find this decision perfectly viable, and I approve. But several and their comrades will seek vengeance if the person or persons...
I'm convinced that Duncann, the chief of...
I understand, but I will only write a decree allowing people to go to this...
Thank you, Master.
Bertir Tumad. I am Duncann, the Mal and the Donne god of the Yigidor. You're very strange for a Renaisse.
My name is Desardet. I'm the legate of the
You are a Lugair Blau? Oh, I didn't know there were on Almanawi amongst. They may not be so different from... What brings you here on Almanawi?
At this old man's request, I investigated the conflict that opposes you and my nation regarding the... You will now be able to access it freely, to accomplish your rituals or heal, and the congregation will keep exploiting the forest. However, you must deliver this man to us because he is responsible for the deaths of several woodcutters.
These men died because of their own foolishness. No one else is responsible. If they hadn't cut all the ochre-berry trees, they...
What does that mean? What are the two of you?
3 woodcutters died after eating the meat of an andrig after it was killed by a venomous Dorsentats.
It's nothing but a terrible coincidence. And if they had eaten the oak...
We know that you are responsible for this. The hunters told me everything.
How could you do this? You acted more foolishly than an irascible adolescent. By killing these men, you have brought upon us their wrath. And it is only natural that they should ask.
Duncann, I beg you. I only wanted the Renaisse to understand the value of the trees they were cutting.
Bloodshed only leads to more bloodshed, and you know that. I would never have thought you capable of doing something.
If you want to stop the woodcutters taking vengeance into their own hands...
I understand. But the Lugaid Blau fooled us in the past. It is there.
What do you want from us?
There is a mine in the forest that the congregation has long... But digging into the mountain has risked it collapsing. We worked with the Lugaid Blau to save the... We agreed to stop digging. But some Renaigse came back. And some of my people started going... If the mountain collapses and it is your clan's...
And you want me to...
You have to stop it. If you do, we punish the...
I'll go to this...
Is there any...
I must leave.
Sorry, this is private prop.
Actually, no one should be able to enter.
I wouldn't know. Our employer, Mr. Maillard, is the owner. Listen, you should go to the authorities.
I definitely will.
Sorry, this is...
These people are reckless imbeciles if they start mining again in such a dangerous place.
These Renaigse must not have taken us seriously. We should take a closer look.
We should take the path that overlooks the outer wall. We should be able to see inside from there.
Those reckless fools. They've resumed operations in the mine.
They use captives from the villages to dig their mine.
They've made them into slaves. We must talk to Sieur de Courcillon. I hope that our nation is not involved in this business. Sir de Corsilion.
Decidez, my young student. What can I do for you?
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Good. You have traveled great distances. And the Terra Inco... Keep doing... Can you rope?
I've come to ask you... It was closed for a long time for security reasons. But someone...
I seem to recall that a concession in this area was sold. However, I do not recall the details. He is a rich merchant from Serene who arrived on the island only a short while before we did. People say that he is unscrupulous.
Unscrupulous? That's an understatement. This man had some natives captured and he's using them as slaves to work in this mine.
What? Does this old brigand really think that he is above the... We cannot tolerate such methods. But we must determine that you should start by finding the deed to his property. Don't worry. We'll not let this man's behavior... Can your old professor still prove himself?
Looking forward to...
It seems as though you can't decipher the glyphs of your own people's document.
I get lost in all the legal jargon. But they have Lady Moronge's seal on them. We should find her, to understand exactly what they say.
Good day, dear sir.
I need your advice once more. This time it's about the property deeds of a plot of land and of a mine. Here are the deeds. I must admit that I understand very little of what's written.
Do not worry, this type of document is always difficult to decipher for the uninitiated. However, they are very clear. Master Maillard is the owner of a plot of land. He can exploit the forest and plant anything he wants there. But it says here that he does not have the right. It's even repeated in this other paragraph. Any attempt at mining on this land...
And yet the mine which was located on this plot of land has been reopened and is being exploited as we...
According to these documents, the mine has been closed for security. This man's behavior is reckless. He usually spends time at the port when he comes. He has some warehouse.
Come closer, good people. Liquor and wine. You'll find all you need.
Master Maillard.
Who's asking?
De Sardet. I am the legate of the congregation.
Well, I'm flattered.
I'm here to talk to you about the mine you have. Are you aware that you have no right to operate it? Nor are you allowed to employ
But what are you talking about? Surely this is a misunderstanding. I'm an honest merchant. I've always paid all taxes, and the small bonuses needed. Please tell your cousin that I would be happy to send him the gift of his... Now, Your Excellency, if you...
I'm afraid you don't understand, Master. It's not a money problem. That mine is dangerous, and you endanger the congregation on this island by behaving this way with the...
Come on, don't be so serious, young man. I'm sure it's nothing that a small... Goodbye, sir. Excuse me, Your Excellency, but I must hurry. I have a lot of work to do.
Sir de Corsilion.
The Sade, my young student.
I verified the contract with Lady Mirange. The exploitation of the mine is illegal, as we expect, without even taking into account what he's doing to the natives. I then went to...
So...
He turned a deaf ear and tried to...
Oh, some of these merchants are so rich that they forget basic decency. But it's high time we reminded him of who is in charge of the congregation. Here, this is an eviction notice which dispossesses him of all his... For his crimes against the natives, he's banished. I will make him aware of this decision, but you should go to the mine. The prisoners must be freed as...
I'll take care of it.
Can your old professor still...
Looking forward...
Sorry, this is private.
I don't need your authorization. I have here an eviction note. The former owner, Mr. Maillard, has lost his rights due to a breach of...
Look, ultimately, we are not the ones who decide.
In that case, where can I find...
You'll find him around here somewhere.
Excellent.
Are you looking for...
Master Maillard, here is a document from Sir de Corsilion on behalf... Considering the fact that you have not respected the terms of your contract of ownership, you are hereby... The methods you used against the islanders has also ensured your banishment from Tier 3...
Impossible! By what right? Guards, this man threatened...
Watch out! Grenade!
These people were monsters. I wouldn't cry over them. Come now, let's go free my brothers, and we can tell Duncann everything.
Go without fear. You are free. And know that we are sorry for what happened to you.
We must believe that not all Legate Blow are alike.
He is an Almanawi. That's why he understands us. Thank you. We will not forget you.
What brings you here?
I was able to close the mine.
Yes. Those you knew how to renew my trust.
Thank you, Duncan.
If you allow it, I would like to punish him myself, since he loved the forest to the point of killing for it. Every day he will replant what your men will cut down. Every day. Does this punishment seem acceptable?
If I explained to Sir de Corsilion that the man was sentenced to forced labor, thank you, Duncan.
Is there anything else?
I must leave. You were lucky. Without our presence here.
Yes. Blessed be the earth that has brought you to us at this time.
Ewan, I was touched. I am hurt.
Oh no! Morian!
These creatures are venomous. If their venom has come into contact with her blood, this young woman does not have long.
And we are too far from the village to seek help. How are we going to save her?
I know a potion that will erase the effect.
I have a vial of it.
Thank you. Truly...
Here.
Don't worry. It'll heal.
You can trust her.
Morian, what do you feel?
I feel...
She is saved. May the trees always bear fruits on your journey.
It was nothing. I'm glad I could help.
You are different from other Renaigse. You know the potions. But what was...
We came to study this place. The carvings in particular.
This is one of our places of ritual. A place of connection.
I seek to understand the mechanisms of your transformation.
You seek the secrets of the Donegada.
Yes. His name is Duncann. He is also...
Here is someone who should be able to answer all your questions, Afra.
Let us go, then.
I have so many questions about this place. About the rituals that take...
Bertir to ma Donkas. These Renaigse saved my life.
What happened?
We were meditating at the sacred circle and Morian was poisoned. And they gave her...
Really? We are not yet used to the Renaigse doing something without expect. You should go and meditate now. I have to...
They are different from the others.
I hear your gratitude, Morian. It honors you. Now go. Here you are again, Renaigse. Thank you for saving Morian.
Please. We couldn't let her die without doing anything.
This feeling brings you honor. But what were you doing?
It was me who led my friends there. I was hoping...
Lions always want to say they covered our secrets to better steal our land. To better hurt our children.
Calm now. Perhaps this maybe we were wrong about them too.
I'm not trying to conquer your island, let alone hurt anyone.
A noble quest that could... I cannot reveal such secrets without seeking advice. But in order to thank you for saving one... Eat and celebrate life.
We accept your invitation.
Of course. Thank you for welcome.
I'm sorry. You look disappointed.
I did not expect your Donegad to reveal all its... But I would have loved to learn more.
Perhaps you should be patient. It takes years, and since you are staying with us tonight, it will...
That's what I hope.
Thank you for welcoming us tonight. We had a good time.
Yes. It was very...
We are glad that you stayed with us. We too have learned...
Your face brims with thoughts, Afra.
It's nothing. Probably just tired.
We should all rest. It has been a long day. May your dreams be wonderful.
Good night.
May the moon watch over your dreams.
Is something wrong?
Duncann wasn't here tonight, yet he's the one who invited us to stay. I also saw one of the elders sneaking out of the village.
You think they're hiding something from us?
I don't know. But since they don't want to share their knowledge with us, let's try to follow them.
I don't like it one bit, Afra. If the elders and Duncann are gone, then we have no...
In that case, why don't you explain where the transformation comes from?
It's not something that can be explained. You have to believe to understand.
I see. So we will discreetly follow these people, since this is the price of...
Oi! Toy! I have items in my...
Here they are. Let's try not to be detected. Why don't the creatures attack them?
I don't know. Are they guarding this place?
If they're trained to guard it, this must be a very important place. Something.
We found them. Let's be as discreet as possible. They are below.
Get down or we'll be seen.
Rustle and speak. Someone is listening to us. Whoever you are, come out of the shadows. Hiding is futile.
Forgive us. We did not intend to interrupt you.
Why are you here?
We're sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt your
We need answers, so we followed your elder.
I never thought I would see you like this, hiding in the bushes,
I'm the one who brought her here. She didn't want to follow, but she refused to tell me what I need to...
Well, since you absolutely want to learn, and be quiet, we are here to meditate, to hear the...
Close doors. You were right. Johan is ready. Morian's trial has made her more...
She is his Minundanem, and he is hers. She will have to bring him to the Cave of Knowledge. This will be his last trial before creating the bond.
May their path be gentle and shielded.
And the day the call is loud enough, you will respond. But it's not yet time for you to join in on me. So, Afra, are you satisfied with what you...
It was informative, although it's not what I expected. This meeting was strange. It almost seemed like they really heard voices.
Maybe it's true.
Some believe so strongly that they end up hearing or seeing what they...
Have you learned what you want?
What they said about these young people we helped out, about the fact they were ready to bind themselves. We have...
But we can't follow them wherever they go.
No, of course not. I must think on it. Come back and talk to me later. Desade, can I do anything for you?
What did you think about that moment next to the campfire with the elders?
It was strange, and a bit frustrating, to be honest.
Had those old sages not been there? You and I next to the fire? It could have been a romantic moment.
Oh, you are really strange, Desade. Thinking about such things at a time. Anything else?
Do you often hold strangers at gunpoint?
Only when I'm being tracked. What about you?
Only when they're attractive. Your charm guided us to you.
Really? And how would you have known how I looked? I did not expect you to be so inane. Anything else?
Did you have any fellow students?
Of course. We were but a small group working with Dr. Vasily, but we were encouraged not to get too close. It was more of a competition.
I wondered if you didn't feel alone.
Do you mean intimate relationships? I had a few here and there, but that did not change how body and mind have different needs. Even though for some they seem to be one and the same. Anything else?
Where do you come from, Anne?
From a Lehman near us. My parents. I was always for this reason.
When did you arrive?
A little more than he needed. How could
Do you miss?
No.
I'm asleep.
Karans, do you need...
I've never heard you talk.
He was the bad.
What happened?
My mother. Anything else?
I'm asleep.
Desade, I can't wait to find this fame. I could probably go. Don't you want to?
You're right, Afra.
Thank you, our new friend.
Steward.
Hello.
Good day, Legate de Sarde.
I am Siora, daughter of Bladnid, daughter of Meb. My mother...
All here remember, and divorced. But you are not yet Mal in her stead. And you... I am sorry, Siora.
I beg your pardon.
If I cannot enter...
Glendon cannot... He only accepts to meet the members of the...
How can I prove that I am the representative?
If you are a trusted friend of a council member, I will then be glad to allow...
If I cannot enter, perhaps you...
Glendon cannot speak with you, Legate. He only accepts...
How can I prove...
If you are... I will... If you... You have returned.
If I cannot...
Glendon...
How can I...
If...
Greetings, Katasai.
Bertirtumat. What can I do?
I'm looking to meet Enomil Frichterman. I went all
But they did not let you speak to Glendon.
Precisely. They said that only the friends of a member of...
And my word was not enough. It seems that I must be a Mal.
Do not be sad, daughter of Bladnid. One day you will be as great a chief. This seal will allow you to give voice to the friends of your clan. Here, friend of Wenxavier. But you must convince him and no doubt pass many trials.
Thank you.
We do not...
I hope you'll have no fear. I must...
What?
We are happy to see you again.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you too.
Of course.
When we participated in the Duncan's meditation,
And you want to see it? It is a very sacred place.
That's right. Yeah, well...
If someone finds out that we have helped the Renaigse to enter a sacred...
Duncan will never do such a thing. What needs to be done...
You're probably right.
Look for the entrance in the Vedhadgenet, but you will have to discover the rest.
Thank you, Morian. At last, we made it.
How do we get in?
Look around. There has to...
This stone and this door remind...
You're right.
But we don't know which. The character has changed.
You're right. They even...
It seems like this painting...
Yes. The character...
The location looks...
Someone's coming. Let's hide. If anyone finds us here, we're sure to lose the trust of the islanders.
Esco halen, esco valg med agengusen.
Mach.
Kairto, Mori.
Kauden nes abudan tata.
The paintings in the cave were... It is obvious that they depict the body. It is by pouring their blood on the raised stones that the natives...
I'm not really sure if
And yet it's clear to see. The islanders think that their ritual has magic. There must be some sort of contamination in their blood. The only way to verify this theory is to...
How will we know when it...
Duncann said it would take place, and they will most likely need some preparation. What do you say?
Very well. I hope that...
Let's take some time to...
You again?
Forgive our intrusion, Duncann. I have learned a lot thanks to you, but I still have...
If you were one of ours, Afra, I would be You can attend the ritual, but no Renaigse ever had this.
We will do everything in our power to prove ourselves. How are you?
Impatient, yes.
It's only natural to be afraid, Yerwan, but I will be by...
You look preoccupied.
Our people have suffered. In some villages, all the young Sinalman... You seem different from the other Zafra.
I have nothing to do with...
I believe, but I hope...
Times really must have changed. These are very different from the others. Their leader...
I know I look like them, but I'm not one of...
You may not be bonded, but you should be proud and happy about it. It is probably thanks to...
Arwich neistiri, adesta marar mam.
You are an Onolmanawi now, Yawan. And soon you will heal the earth by our sides.
Thank you, Donkas.
I am so happy that we can...
What about you, Afra? Did you find...
It's strange. I didn't exactly understand.
Some events must be understood with the heart. Not...
It seems like you are right.
We are under attack.
Grab the young metamorph!
They won't touch you. Sada, you have to...
You can count on me.
Your curiosity, Afra, has saved lives. If it weren't for you, I am infinitely grateful, especially considering that fighting...
Indeed. These people were brutes. They had it coming. I recognize some of the...
Really? Did they belong to...
No. They worked for my former master, Dr. Asili. I was his student for a long time before I realized this man. He was so obsessed with his goal. But I can't believe he'd go as far as abducting.
You think that the Onolmanawi are used...
Now that I have seen these souls, and I'm afraid they may suffer atrocious... I am so ashamed.
Come now. Shame serves no purpose.
Thank you, Duncan. And thank you, Desade. Desade, can I do it?
How did you feel when we visited?
Astonishment, I think. I felt it was...
It was a moving moment indeed.
I am also happy I have found... When I'm with you, I feel as if I'm learning differently, and I'm very grateful. Anything else?
Do you think that attending this ceremony...
Yes, obviously. Before this ritual made me understand the power of sharing. This new vision gives me new perspectives.
I hope I'll be lucky enough to be...
We share amazing memories now. A bond, and I can't imagine this new life without anything else.
What do you think of the love that unites those young people? It really seems...
It's true. I don't think I've ever stumbled upon two people that were so... On the continent, where everything is political, it only happens in
Is it that you're starting to believe...
Who told you I did not believe in it? When it is sincere, it is an admirable... Anything else?
I must leave you.
Karans, do you need some?
I must...
You have returned.
Here is the seal of the Denegad Katas.
And so you are a trusted friend of the... Enter.
I give you warm greetings, Glendan. I am Disarday, legate of the...
Your merchant congregation sways me very slightly from my path. His trust in you makes me stop and look at you.
I seek a remedy. My cousin, as well as many other people on our islands, we think that only Enon Miel Frictaman can help us find...
Really? And Katasach?
He told me that the only way to meet with your god was to come and see you.
Judge your intentions. But even if I should do this, you would have many, for the path you seek to follow has only been tread but a very few times. And we must begin where everything begins.
What must I do?
You must go to a cavern and tell me what you see on the seal you will find deep.
And this cavern is guarded?
That is true. But the simplest... I hope you will prove that you understand. Go now.
I must...
William.
You have spoken to Glendan as you wanted. What more can I do for you?
Nothing.
Good luck.
Karantz, I need to...
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine chick?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some...
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as my mother, would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our...
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand the... Will you investigate?
Of course. Let's...
Hello, my child. Do you want to hear the word of Saint Matilda?
Not really, Father. My name is...
Nice to meet you.
What can we do for you?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with...
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. We swore to provide this village...
In exchange, it's...
My mother would never have made such an agreement.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only... It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according...
She had an engraver come to Foul.
I do not believe a single word of this.
You would do well to hold your tongue.
By not respecting us.
Because you think that you can administer justice here.
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies.
That is an excellent idea.
Kill these blue bloods!
Here's the stone we were looking for. Strange.
This stone was damaged on purpose.
There may be a way. Promises. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Kara. He must be the one who engraved.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promise, those who want... Looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight.
This workshop was purposely devastated.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a...
Unless someone else did this.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan.
Let's go to Vigi.
What brings you here, Onom?
We're looking for Karadeg, the keeper.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left.
Did you exile him?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with us. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. And I did not want him to return if it meant...
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something. He must have left for the woods, south of... Is there any...
I must...
Wow.
It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Siora! Bertir Tumad, Doneg.
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promise.
Most words must be free, but some words must survive those who utter them. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada. Then they teach us the words of stone.
So you're a kind of cleric?
Do you want to know?
We would like to ask you...
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I did not like them, but And now that she is no longer...
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised.
No, Donegad. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They
I understand your fear. Take some time.
Renaigse.
We would like... In that case, maybe we should...
Why would you do that?
I cannot believe you would say that.
This man's hatred of the settlers has made him blind. That he'd rather let his village fall into their hands than...
Here, take this.
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions. And they must help us when we return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to a saint. Siora, Bertir to Madisel. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother...
Yes.
We went to Falris...
Were you able to read it? No, because it was You're probably right. But for as long as...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used...
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them, and even less about them being entitled to the spirit. So they lied. I think it's high time they left. I think so too. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these liars. Yes, Siora, I will, of course, assist. Karans, do you need some?
I must pass the trial of...
I have heard it talked about. It is... One says that my mother...
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a secret. I know the combat, if you are and there are... Anything else?
How did you know that? After all, given the situation...
I knew my mother well.
I think I understand. Your island, your culture, and...
Exactly. Without these beliefs, I am happy to see anything else.
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact... When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were all...
I have no trouble believing it. And I'm glad that out of the two sisters, it's the gentler one who is...
Gentler? Really? The lion soldier or anything else?
I've never heard you talk...
He was... my mother, anything...
I'm asleep.
Karan, do you need some?
I'm asleep.
Desada, can I do it?
I'm asleep. Siora, do you know anything?
My mother passed it during the last election, but...
Did she tell you about it?
A little, but it is a... I know that you must choose. Combat is not necessary. If you are... And there are...
Look at the basin, and the symbols around it. Given the islanders' taste for rituals and enigmas, I think you should touch the water.
You were freezing and you had this empty stare. The water in the basin.
Yes. Exactly like the lightning-struck tree.
Tell us. Visions like this
I was in the sky. I was high up, and it was getting colder, and I fell to the ground and spun slowly. Suddenly I bounced on the ground, and I was taken by the bubbling current, and just like before, the vision dissipated. This stone is blackened, eaten away. This stone bears the image of a storm. On this stone, the sun is visible. The drawing on this stone makes me think of fire. This drawing looks like an infant. Here, this looks like a snowflake. This stone is adorned with the etching of a drop of water. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order. I must have lit the candles in the wrong order. Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle. Evidently, I shouldn't have lit this candle. This must be the seal that Glendan spoke about. It looks like the silhouette of the mountain of Teofridi, and a face is drawn within it.
The spirit of the volcano. One of the faces of Einar Mýrfryktaman.
Bertir to mad on all.
And so you have returned.
A face in the mountain.
Then you have seen the true face of the island when looking into her waters. You have given the blood of the animals that protected the entrance to the passage. In choosing the path of silence, you avoided confronting the Finally, you have completed the ritual. And you choose to trust the way of rules and wisdom. The island has seen your intelligence and also your compassion.
Am I authorized to encounter Einar Mýrfryktaman now? To present him?
If the High King agrees, yes. Only a High King or High Queen is allowed to open the sanctuary.
I suppose that I'm going to need to convince them as well.
I do not know. And I believe that it may be another trial on your path to...
Is he hiding?
He disappeared several months ago. Since then we have... The last people to have seen him, I'm told, were the most important chiefs of the clan. There was Deirdre, Blatnid, Ulan, and...
My mother, alas, can't tell.
Yes. I heard about your loss, Yora.
And divorced Tirsi.
Deirdre is the Mal of the clan of the Storm Warriors. You will find...
I've already met her.
That sounds like her. Ulan, it is said that he welcomes the Renaigse. He is the chief of the Earth Healing.
Very well. I will go and see.
Kwawalamsek.
Could you help me?
What is it?
I must prepare the and I think that I...
But your sister will be there.
For the ritual, yes. It will only be... Will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by you.
Karans, do you need something?
I'm...
Shiora, Asir. Always with your new... Vertir to Madiseld. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany
I came to give our mother back to the earth. I know. Performing Iseld. No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. We are approaching Vasrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean?
Hymnals. These are not very natural habitats at all. We cannot leave them here. So close to the barrier. You never see any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some sensors crafted.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will give you a list of all the ingredients. Once we have gathered these last items, I thank you for being by my side and helping me.
Don't mention it, Sue.
Bird tier to Malu. If you want to trade again, you know where to find me.
We have all that we need. Let's go back. Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only this is how our ritual... There. Everything is in place. My sister should be joining me soon. Oh, these rituals are demanding. You have been a true friend. Akarans, thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed, conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who is dear to you.
We should go now. Karantz, do you need something?
What do you intend to do now?
I will most likely do it, but not now.
I'm very glad to be able to enjoy your presence.
Thank you for your kindness on Almanac. Anything else?
I'm asleep.
Karantz, do you need some?
I'm...
Desade, can I do it?
I'm...
Lieutenant, I demand an explanation. Tell us what is going on. We haven't heard anything about Lord D'Orsay's condition in spite of our inquiries. We are extremely worried. And then, all of a sudden, one of his guards appears, shaken and on his own, though he is part of his retinue.
Please, allow me the chance to shed some light, my lady.
Your soldier is nothing more than a coward for abandoning his highness.
Tell me, what is going on?
This soldier has just reported in. He is asking for reinforcements. He believes that Lord D'Orsay has been attacked.
He believes? He ran here without full knowledge of what happened firsthand.
I was sent on patrol far from the camp, but I heard screams, from men and from beasts. I wanted to return to camp, but then I heard a deafening sound, grinding, like a landslide. I thought then it would be best just to go and get help.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You are dismissed. I would like to have a discussion with this man alone.
Yes, sir.
My lady, could you lead these fine people into the hallway, if you would be so kind?
Certainly. I deplore this embarrassing turn of events, but know that you have my full support in all circumstances.
In the interest of avoiding a general panic, tell me precisely what happened back there.
Your cousin ordered us to escort him beyond the town limits. The Islander convinced him to go on some journey.
By Islander, do you mean the Denegad that came to treat his affliction?
Yes. A strange bird. Missing more than one feather, you ask me, sir. I was ordered to set up patrol along a small path, rather far from the rest of the company. I was told to protect our perimeter from anyone wandering along. According to the Islander, it was the only access to their planned destination. I did my rounds for quite some time. Not a soul came along. But then I heard cries a ways off, and I went running to help. I heard an enormous crashing sound like an avalanche of rocks. So then I turned right back around.
And you ran all the way here? Do you know precisely where the company was?
No, not precisely. I hadn't gone there. The Islander said they were following the path, but he was quite a ways ahead when I lost sight of them.
My cousin was quite weak.
His Highness was feeling much better. The potions that he was... I mean to show no disrespect to His Highness, but that Islander had the high ground. I wasn't privy to their counsel. I haven't the beginning of it. Your cousin was all full of enthusiasm and ordered that we set out as quick...
That sounds like him. What sort of...
I am sorry.
Why didn't you go and look for yourself?
What? Alone?
I'm still having trouble deciding if cowardice, but that's a question for you. Dismissed, soldier.
Thank you.
This is the camp that Constantine's escort must have established.
It looks more like a battlefield. I hope the Donegad and your cousin survived the fight.
Search the zone. Let's see if we can find any clues as to what's happened here. This area has been trampled. An entire stampede passed by here. Our soldiers must have fled the zone and taken this path followed by their assailants. This is a sacred place of a native cult. No doubt this is where Katasak and Constantine were going.
It isn't really a place of a cult, but rather a place of anchoring. A place where Donegada perform a ritual to become Sinol Menawi. These places are charged with great energy. Perhaps Katasach wanted to use it to bring relief to your cousin.
Perhaps. There are bodies, and without a doubt there was fighting here. Search the place. Let's see what we are able to find. More tracks. Footprints. They must have fled this way. Another burnt tree. This path seems to have been scorched. More signs of an explosion. I can't believe that our soldiers could be carrying so many new footprints. It looks as if a group met up with them and took this path. There was more fighting over here. There are not only the corpses of our own men, but where could these other soldiers have come from? There are footprints. Only a handful made it up to here. The path stops on this overhang, and despite signs of a celebration, I don't see any sign of Constantine or Constantine. These vials look familiar. Katasach used the very same to stock his potions. He must have come here. I'm going to pick them up. And these rocks were broken, as if they had taken cannon fire. What could have happened here? I recognize this sack. It's my cousin's. Oh, Constantine, what have you gotten yourself into again? I don't recognize these men. Still more unknown soldiers. Could they have been responsible for the attack? This one is carrying a letter. Let's see. According to this note, this troop came from an outpost of the Bridge Alliance close by. A patrol, no doubt. Could the bridge in some way be linked to this attack? That makes no sense. Very well. Let's sum. Constantine and Katasach definitely came through here to perform some sort of ritual. An attack obviously involved. And then there are these traces of inexplicable
You cannot suspect my people are behind this attack. You have strayed far from the path. No one would have attacked Katasach.
Unless he himself was behind it. He is a powerful Donegad. The beast.
How could you even think something like that? He is a healer.
Perhaps he only did it to gain our trust. With Constantine captive, he now has leverage to apply to the colonists and force them to accept his... But in all truth, I have no idea what. But regardless of who is guilty, we could return to Wenxavier. Perhaps Katasach returned there. Or maybe his Voglendai could tell us where to find him. We are also going to have to visit the outpost. Their soldiers were involved in the combat, or at least the end of it. They must have...
And you think that they would have taken Constantine? Is that possible? Maybe he was in need of treatment. But if you suspect them to have participated in the combat to capture him, I think you're wasting your... I know the captain of that outpost. A pessimistic man who would never order an attack without being absolutely certain of total victory without...
Perhaps. Unless he was simply obeying orders. It does belong to the Coin Guard, after all. However, one way or another, Constantine... Let us be on our way without...
colonials. You must have gotten lost to have come this far from nowhere.
Disarday. I am
A legate? Pardon my dismay, but we don't get many here. Captain Idris. I am the ranking of... What can I do for you?
I'm looking for Constantine d'Orsay, the island governor of the Congregation of Merchants.
A governor? Here? Whatever would he be doing in this?
My cousin was part of an expedition in this region. His men and his camp were attacked. They nearly... But we found no trace of his body, which has wounded and holding up somewhere, or even captured.
Have you cast your suspicions in our day? We've had neither reinforcements nor supplies for weeks. In my book, we've been told I wouldn't risk the few lives remaining to attack a governor's camp. I'm not crazy. I'm truly sorry for your cousin, Excellency, but we haven't seen him. The region is dangerous. The natives are heartless.
You do know that we found the bodies of several men from the garrison up there, don't you?
How could you be sure?
One of them was carrying a note, signed by your...
And they are dead. I had hoped they...
Explain yourself, Captain.
They were monitoring the zone. They were to warn us of any troop... We have lost too many men to surprise attacks. We decided yesterday. We heard screams and saw some strange lights up there.
And you didn't go and see... You hear screams, certainly those of your own men, and you don't do anything.
So the last of my men give up their lives for nothing. You can think of me as a coward if you like. But me...
Why do I have the feeling that you're holding something back from...
Captain, my name is Afra. I passed by this outpost with my fellows.
The Lost Expedition.
His Excellency was able to... extract us from the situation.
His Excellency has powers that I do not...
I'm casting no stones at you. You are isolated and without resources. And understandably, you have the feeling that the powerful of this world have abandoned you, and you want to make them pay. But a life hangs in the balance.
One of the men I...
A survivor? Excellent.
He wasn't able to say a word. He collapsed on... Our nurse sits with him, but... his wounds are extremely serious.
I'm sorry to hear that, Captain. Perhaps we could do something.
Go and see the nurse. I can't take it anymore. Anything else?
Concerning the young man...
Did you see the nurse?
Not yet.
Really? I thought that your cousin... This boy will not... Anything else? I would...
What are you doing there?
I know. I've come to see the wounded soldier.
That is very kind of him.
What are you saying?
No, but I've been asking the captain for weeks to escort me on a mission to... I no longer have... And now that we have a wounded patient...
Do you know what type of remedy would allow...
Yes, at least I think so.
I see.
Thank you. Were you able to...
Yes, I was.
Give it to me. We must wait and be...
Will he make it?
I hope so. We'll know...
And if he survives?
Come back tomorrow.
Very well.
See you soon.
Hello, soldier.
Better.
I simply prepared the potion that she... Could you tell me what happened?
I will try. They're not really... We were posted up on the peak to follow rebel, and we heard sounds of fighting not far from them. Were screaming. Soldiers of the Coin Guard and an islander were trying to protect a young man. He seemed dire ill.
Constantine Katasak and his escort. Who...
Dozens of wild animals. They seemed completely enraged and intent on devouring them.
Flames?
I don't know. I didn't see everything. But I thought I saw another islander. Big. There was practically no one left on the battlefield. I came to when I heard voices of islanders approaching. I thought to myself, they're coming to finish off the wounded. I dragged myself here.
I'm going to have to go.
You shouldn't do that.
That's enough. Rest now.
Yes, it's best I leave. I'll have a word with you.
Excellency, thank you.
Please. I did nothing more.
Did you learn what you...
Yes. I was able to... He and his company heard sound. My cousin's escort were already nearly annihilated by animals that jumped out. A strange sorcerer controlled them.
One of those rebel savages, no doubt. They must have learned that an important man was in the region and thought he would make the perfect...
Don't apologize. I know where the camp can be found, and if my cousin is there...
Like you freed the... Thank you again.
I need to be going.
I would very much like to do the same.
Hello.
Renaigse. There.
To speak to you about my cousin's capture and the massacre of his escort. A soldier from the nearby outpost survived and told us that you were present on the battlefield.
You dare come here? Let me throw him out, this Renaigse and his... May they receive this punishment.
I know that you see us as your enemies, but we are not here to harm. I only seek to find the man I consider to be my brother, as well as the man who is protecting him. Katisach, one of your greatest Donegada.
No Donea Exregal would attack Katisach.
If you didn't attack him, you must know what happened. I was told that an islander took my... Perhaps your men were there to aid them.
We do not have your cousin, and we do not know what happened. As for Katisach, and the worst, Tire. That night, we heard the sounds of a terrible combat. We went to see. The last breath of Katisach had returned to the wind when we arrived, and many of the Renaigse were dead. We carried the body of the Donegad and...
He gave his life to protect Constantine. This request might surprise you, but we would...
Why?
Examine him to understand what killed... We were told that an island native was there and that he likely led the...
No Donea Exregal would attack Katisach. You have...
That is the very reason I need to see his body.
You may see him. But if you desecrate his...
Katesach. Seeing the state of his body, I hate myself for having suspected him. Forgive me, Duncann, to have doubted your loyalty and even more for what we are about to do. Now then, let's see what story this corpse has to tell.
I can give a detailed examination of the corpse. It is a task that I have been trained to.
Gladly see the...
We note a great number of large, blunt force contusions, covering the entire surface of... None of the wounds could be attributed to a blade or a spear, nor are there any visible bullet ends. Practically every bone has been broken in multiple places. The rib cage was torn open and then collapsed. The open wound reveals multiple perforations of the vital... Here, the borders of the wounds have been singed. The flesh is blackened, exposed to a flame. And we also note several patches of mineral. They seem oddly out of place in spite of the exotic insular origin of our... I would be hard-pressed to tell you which of the wounds proved to be the fatal blow, but...
He was smashed violently by a giant rock that was without a doubt on fire.
Yes. These wounds are similar to those given by a heated cannon shot, though in a less regular fashion.
The dead soldiers we found had identical wounds. As crazy as this may sound, whoever is responsible for this attack...
In any other circumstance, your conclusion would qualify you, but I stand on the side of the improbable. The natives' powers reside outside the body of...
I can't imagine an Adaig behaving like this. It is not their way. That they might attack careless hunters or warriors, true, but to attack the power to call volcano fires could only be that of a guardian. No simple man wields mountain fire.
We still don't really know who is actually behind this attack, nor what they... Judging by the severity of these wounds.
All your experiments. You've learned so little. You've learned to fear.
We had to at least try. Are you not even concerned or angered by what happened to Katesach?
We've grown accustomed to the loss of lives, your relentless attacks, and all the same, there is truth. Guardian and Duncann would never attack one. There is a ritual that might help us.
The Anatalis Fair.
It is a magical rite that only a person with a powerful bond to both... It allows the Duncann who chants it to relive the last moments.
That would allow us to at least see the face of his...
If what I have heard is true, yes. To my knowledge, only...
Let's ask her for her help, then.
You are quick to ask another to put her mind in danger for your own... Imagine the pain of the wounds of another. Shaking your body as the cold of death crushes your beating. This is what you must ask of the Tiernahach. It is the price she must pay for when her companion was lost in battle, fighting against your own. She wanted to... Since that day, our Tiernahach Kadaktas has never breathed air with the same...
That would explain her distrust of the...
You must make her see your purpose. It may be the only way.
Hello, Mev.
Renoixe. What?
I've come to ask you for help.
My help? You still seek the remedy for the sick?
My cousin has been taken, and I've been told that you could help.
Truly?
By performing the Anatalis fair on the body of Katasach, the Donegan.
Katasach is dead. He was a good man. Perhaps...
He went with my cousin to a sacred site when they were attacked. My cousin has disappeared, taken, according to a witness. And we examined him, and it seemed as if he had been struck by molten rock.
Fire of the earth. Only the Nadaig Manemen have but none of our own would have attacked
This is why we need you. We want to understand and to find who's responsible.
And you will avenge the dead as you have avenged. Very well, Renoixe. I will help you. Our island wails in suffering. The Anatalas fair may kill me, but at least I will. You will need to act as my Voglendaig and bring to me the necessary...
What do you require?
A potion. And listen and remember. Or write in your language. Do not forget, the viscera of the scavengers must be taken from a place near the battlefield, because they contain the flesh. As for the personal object of Katasach...
He didn't have a weapon when I found his body.
Where can I find him?
In Duren's camp.
Very well. Not far from there is a sacred... Then we can perform the ritual.
In that case, let's go together to the ritual site.
Very well.
I recognize this weapon. It's Catasach's, I'm certain. It must have been broken during the battle. Let's take it back to Mev.
Were you able to find
Yes.
This is good. The moon is high. Catasach, we have come to learn the truth of your death. Ato al confrangawi brandi, ole hanamemen adestame haman. Bara fridenan tahanemo quate grenfen, linkui damda renaute da hodos. Lemat, de tahawan kloisam, de talugedon velam, de taragam buledam, de tatamenam reloidan. Adat alamen kante bij dam en aan tellen vervraagd dan dom.
Catasach, help me, please.
Show no fear. I do not think he means you any harm.
What is this? This monster. Why is it attacking us?
I don't know. I don't understand. It is as if it seeks you out. It wants you.
You never should have done that, Catasach. To save one Renaigse, you put us all in great peril.
His spirit is different. He receives badly.
You have woven the bond of the Deathbringer.
What is happening to you? Get a hold of yourself. Come on.
I cannot believe it. He has returned.
Who has?
Finbar. The High King. We thought he was dead. He disappeared months ago.
Is he the attacker? And what of Constantine? Have you seen a young, blonde-haired man? He was sickly.
Yes. The golden-haired was there. And he was afraid. Catasach protected him before he was killed by Finbar. Leave me now. I am very tired.
How are you feeling?
Better. What?
If I want to have any hope of finding Constantine, I must...
Do you know where to look for him?
The kings and queens could tell me when they saw him for the last...
Then you must arm yourself with patience and courage on all...
Thank you, Mev.
Do not thank me. In order to satisfy my curiosity, I betrayed my king. All that remains for me to do is to...
Farewell, Nev.
Karantz, do you need some?
I'm...